Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Hi, very good evening, Aditya. Very good evening, Dhruv. How are you all doing? So, very good to have you all here for today's live class for the Python project. Okay, so we'll be making up a Python project, and that is so gonna help you out for standing out your resumes or CV different from the other people. Great, good to hear Dhruv, good to hear Aditya, good to hear both of you. Fine enough. Okay, so we'll be making up a Python project. What is it about actually, and what are the details? All I'll be covering up in a short while. Okay, before that, now whatever the IDE I am gonna use about in today's projects for that respective IDEs, I did already mention up the link into my description. Okay, so just go on to the description and please have up a look. There you'll be finding up two respective links. The very first one will be to install Python and PyCharm. So yeah, you could go through that if you haven't installed up till now. And second one is that how you could store up the images onto the PyCharm. Okay, so you could have a look over there as well. And why I am they saying this, because we'll be using that. So Adarsh, hello, very good evening Adarsh. And okay, very good to hear that, Ramraj, very good to hear that. And hello. Okay, great. Good to have you all here in today. Fine. So I was repeating that the link for the PyCharm video is already in the description. Go ahead. If you do not have PyCharm installed, so install. But for now, today actually I had brought it a project in a sort of manner that if you are using any of the IDs, so you could make out that. But one exception, that only the offline IDEs would work. Okay, none of the online IDEs. Very good evening, Sadhna. Very good evening, Asifa. So now on to that case, what is gonna happen? You can take Jupyter Notebooks, you could take Visual Studio, you can take PyCharm, or you could simply take Sublime. Whatever you just wish out, you could simply take that and you could simply use that out. Very good evening, Abhishek. Very good evening. Great. So very good to have you all here. And fine. Now I'll be starting a little bit with the introduction to my project, to my Python project, which we are gonna make. So I hope that till that time you have opened up your IDEs and you are ready with your IDEs for writing up the projects. Great. Okay, fine enough everyone. So let me proceed on from here. We'll be making, okay, as we all know that right now some winters are going on, right? Very good evening, Rekha. Very good evening. As we all know that right now the winters are going, and some in hill stations like Manali, it's a large snowfall at the on those respective places, right? So why not just pick out some winter season and some do out some cool stuffs onto the winter season only. Okay, so our project will be based upon some winter season, some sort of snowfall today. What will be it completely about? As soon as I move ahead with the project, I'll be letting you know each and everything. Now, there is one prerequisite for our project of today. So, what is that actually? It is that you will be needing up an image. You could take up any hill station image, you could take up any mountains image, or either you could take up your own image as well. Okay, it's not like any idea that any respective image is needed, but yeah, any of those are actually gonna work out. Okay, so here please go ahead, download out a PNG image. I did Hindi English combined language use, please. Sure, Abhishek. I would try to combine Hindi and English, both of the languages. For sure, I would try. Okay, so what you could do is that you could simply go onto the Google, and at that respective place write out any of the whatever the image you want. You want any image of winter season, any snowfall or any mountains, whatever you want, just quickly go ahead and download. Now, one exception, image shall be of PNG format only. Okay, and the dimensions could be somewhat 990 into 550. Okay, make sure please go ahead and download out that respective image. So I'll be waiting 1 minute for you to download out the things. Okay, so please go ahead and download those out. And till the time, I'll be giving you a brief about the PyCharm and the things which we will be using. So PyCharm is actually one of the offline IDEs into which you can write up the Python codes. So for that as well, you need up the Python installed onto your devices. The very first requirement is in Python. Second goes your PyCharm, Sublime, whatever you switch out. You could simply use any of those. Great. So I hope that you must have downloaded up the image, because it's not gonna take more than 1 minute for downloading, because it's a very quick thing, right? Great. Let me proceed on and let's start with writing up the code a little bit, right? Let's do out that particular thing. Great. So please open up your IDEs, and please everyone is in the chat box, let me know, did you open up your IDEs? Very good evening, Pawan. Very good evening. In the chat box, please, I just want to see that did you all download your IDEs? Everyone, guys? What happened? So did you open up your IDEs? And I hope that, yeah, maybe you must have opened up your IDEs up till now. And now we can, I guess we can proceed on with the writing out of, okay, Aditya, okay, Abhishek. Great, both of you. Great, fine enough. Okay, let me proceed on, let me start off with my code for today, okay? And okay, at any point of time you have any of the doubts respective, so you could just please mention up those doubts in the comment box, and I'll be really happy to answer out any of your queries at any of the times. Okay, great. I'll be using two libraries. The first one will be my Pygame, and second one will be my random library. Okay, so what I'll be doing is that I'll be importing up the Pygame, and second goes I'll be importing up the random library. So here goes import, and that's my Pygame. Downside, okay, yes, you can just like write up import Pygame. It means that now what I am doing is that I'm importing my library. That's my Pygame, because whatever the project I'll be making up today, that will somewhat require up the access of my Pygame library. I'll be using some functions which are there in the Pygame library. Okay. So into that particular case, I am importing up the Pygame. Next goes that I will be importing up the second library, and that's the random library. Now, what's the use of Pygame? So Pygame is a sort of library which allows you to first of all make different types of games. Secondly, you have many functions in the Pygame which allows you to work with the images. It allows you to work up with different sort type of images, like you take JPG, you take PNG, you take GIFs, okay, anything. Secondly, you get access to putting up of your different types of background musics, and all those things are completely which are covered in the Pygame. So I'll be using up the image here, so that is the reason I'm using Pygame. Okay, and for the random, I'll be using up this random module because I want some sort of dots and some sort of circles to come randomly onto my screen. Okay, so could I just get a confirmation that am I clear up till this particular place to everyone, that what are the libraries which I have imported and what is the use of these libraries actually which I have imported up here? Am I clear with that, everyone? Okay, great enough everyone, great. Hope I am very much clear with these things to everyone. Now, further what I'm gonna do is that further I am gonna initialize out. Okay, Aditya, thank you so much for the confirmation. Very good evening, Sashi, very good evening. Okay, let's get ahead, and now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna initialize out my Pygame library. Okay, But before that, there is one thing which is left out. And okay, Dhruv, thank you for the confirmation. Okay, Asifa, thank you for the confirmation. Abhishek, okay, बहुत, okay, English spoken course to improve my English, okay. Uh, okay, Abhishek, sure, sometime, sure. Okay. Sashi, okay, repeat. Okay, fine, Sashi. What I'm doing is that I have simply opened up the Sublime IDE. You could use PyCharm, you could use IDE. You could use PyCharm, Jupyter, Visual Studio Code, Sublime, whatever you just wish about, you could use. And further, what I'm doing is that I'm simply importing up the libraries like Pygame and the random library. Okay, nothing more than that. Okay, Abhishek, okay, Sunny, fine, Sunny, fine. Now, अभिषेक, ओके अभिषेक, लिसन टू मी आउट कि अभी तक हम लोगों ने क्या किया है, सिंपली मैंने यहाँ पे जो लाइब्रेरीज रिक्वायर्ड है मेरे प्रोग्राम में, मैंने सिंपली उन लाइब्रेरीज को सिर्फ इंपोर्ट किया है. ठीक है, इंपोर्ट मीन्स दैट लाइब्रेरीज जो है वो ऑलरेडी मेड अप हैं, सिंपली हमको इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है और सिंपली उसको अपने प्रोग्राम में फर्दर यूज आउट कर सकते हैं. तो अभी तक मैंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपनी लाइब्रेरीज को इंपोर्ट किया है. फर्दर आगे जो फंक्शंस हैं जो भी यूज होने हैं वो सारी चीज़ें मैं आगे फर्दर पे करूँगी. ठीक है, होप अभिषेक ये आपको ऐसे हेल्प में कर सकती हूँ एक्सप्लेन करने में, इफ यू वांट अप इन द हिंदी. ग्रेट. ओके, आई हैव टू डू वन थिंग, जस्ट गो एंड क्लिक ऑन द फाइल एंड आई हैव टू सेव अप दिस फाइल एज वेल. ओके, आई विल क्लिक ऑन सेव एज. अच्छा, अब आपको सेव इसको वहां पे करना है. यू हैव टू सेव अप दिस सेव दिस रिस्पेक्टिव फाइल एट दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस where your all the Sublime files are actually saved. Okay, Sadhna? Okay, great. So I would go on to my Windows, then I will go to my users. Again, I would repeat, you have to save this Python file onto the destination where all your Python files are saved. Okay, if you are a user of Sublime or PyCharm, then in that case, if you are using Jupyter, then no worries in that case. That's pretty much sorted. Great. Now I could just simply write up the name of my file here. Let's say it's okay, let's say my file name I would give as pick snow. Okay, SNOW. Right. Now you have to do one thing, that from all the files, go from here and choose up the file which is the py file. Py is the extension for Python. Right? Do that out. And as same, write up here .py. Okay, pretty much clear, and just click on save. So now your file has been saved onto the py format. Right, now that's pretty much sorted. Now do one thing, guys, that's very much important, that do not leave any space between your file name. Like my file name which I have written up is pick snow. Right, don't leave any space between the pick and between the snow. Okay, Sashi, most welcome. So don't leave any space between the pick and between the snow. Fine. So just combine both and write out your file name. Great. Hope you all have done up till this particular place, right? You have just put up all the things in a pretty clear manner. Further, I am going to initialize out my Pygame library. So pygame.init. Init is, what does init means? It means the initialization. Okay. It means the initialization. Now, it's a rule that whenever you use up the Pygame library, it's important for you to use the init function, that is your initialize function. I did so. Okay. Now, I am going to define out my RGB colors. Okay, white is one of the variables which I am having. And into that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write up 255, 255, 255. These are my RGB values which I'm simply putting it out here. Okay, now these are the standard values which you have. So I just did put this up here at the particular place. So guys, hope I'm clear, very much clear actually up till now. So could I just get a confirmation in the chat box? I guess I am pretty much clear to all of you in this case. Great. Fine, everyone. Pretty much fine. Now I'll be moving up further here. And now I'll be displaying and setting up some modes, like I'll be making up a screen for me, and I'll be setting up a different mode here so that I could just go ahead and put up the things. Okay, Sunny, fine enough? Okay, Sunny, fine enough, fine enough. Great, let me just get down here. And now I'll be making up a function my, and that's the display. Okay, now I'll be putting up a bracket here, not bracket, I'll be putting up the equal to sign. Okay, Shashi, okay, fine enough. Great. So my display is equal to, I'll be writing up pygame dot and okay, thank you so much, Shashi, thank you so much. Now I'll be writing a pygame dot, and here we have the function which is display. Okay, display is one of the functions which I'm having, dot, and I'm going to set up the mode, dot set underscore mode. It means that I am making up a screen of some respective size. Okay, I'm making up the screen of some respective size. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put up the bracket here once again. Okay, the first bracket was for my function which is set mode, and second bracket is inside which I will be mentioning up the values. So my value will be 920, 550. Now this is the same value of which you have to take up the image. Okay, you have to take up the image, whatever I told you in the starting, that you have to take up the image. That image will be having up the dimensions of 920 cross 550. Okay, so you have to take up any respective mountain area image, or you can take up any respective image of any hill station, or even you could just take up your simple image as well. Okay, so that's the idea, 920, 550. This will be your dimension. Okay, let's get down here. That's pretty much sorted. And now what caption you want to put up into your window? Okay, what caption you want to put it up here? So it will be pygame. Okay, it will be pygame dot display dot, and I'll be using up the function which is set underscore caption. Okay, so pygame dot display dot set underscore caption, and into the bracket I could set up my caption which is snow falls, Okay, pretty much sorted. My caption is as well mentioned it up here. Okay, now I'll be letting you an idea of my project further, because whatever the things were to be displayed, that are pretty much displayed up here. Okay, now further I would actually let you know that what is the idea about. We will be having up a, you could say, as window. That window will be of the size which is 920 cross 550. Okay, this will be the size of my window. Now into that window, what are the image you'll be putting? As right now the winters are going on, we are actually having a snowfall at many places. So we'll be making up the project in such a way that whatever the image you did put up, into that image you could simply see up the snowfall. Okay, as the snowfall actually occurs, like from the top it comes to the downside. In a similar manner, you will be able to see the snowfalls with the white color. You will be able to see white color circles, and those will be your different snowfalls which will be coming up as an output to you onto your image, which you will be using up further. Great. So guys, am I clear up till this particular point to all of you, that what do I meant out from this particular thing and whatever I did wrote up here? Am I clear up till that particular point to you all? Okay, and if I am clear to you at this particular point, then what are you waiting for? Please go ahead, subscribe out my channel, and even share this live stream with your friends as well, so that they can as well come up here, learn Python. It would not take more than 30 seconds for you to share that onto your WhatsApp groups. So I'll be waiting for 30 seconds for you. Go ahead, share this live stream onto your WhatsApp groups with your friends, and then come back here, subscribe to the channel, and then we'll be moving forward with the project. Okay? So yeah, please go ahead. Your 30 seconds starts now. Great. So this is a sort of project which we'll be actually making up. Okay, Aditya, great. Okay, actually, you know, I am really very happy to see that you people came, and yeah, you people are replying as well in the chat box. So it's a pretty much very like you could say a happy thing for me. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for coming up here. Okay, Sashi, great enough. Okay, Vasu, great. Okay, Aditya, great. Fine, thank you so much everyone for coming. Okay, it's not ended up. I would proceed on with my project. Okay, Asifa, great. Let me proceed on with my project for now. So hope you have shared this with your friends. Okay, I am assuming that you have shared up with your friends. So if not, then please again go ahead and share that out. Okay, Sashi, fine. Okay, let me move ahead with, and now I'll be making up a variable, and that will be snowfall. Okay, and for that right now I'll be declaring up an empty list only. Okay, nothing more than that. I'll be simply having up an empty list for this snowfall. Okay, like this. Great. Now I'll be applying up my for loop. Now why the for loop is needed? Because now I'll be using up my random function. Okay, I'll be using up my random function, and that random function will help me to generate out my snowfall at random positions. It's not the case that I will define one position in one inch and then it will display. No, it's a tedious task. Really, it's a tedious task. Now into that case, what you have to do is simply define the random variables. With those random variables, the snowfall automatically gets generated out. Okay, so I'll be using up my for loop. So for I in range, I'll be putting up the brackets here, and my range will be somewhat 90. Okay, now you could put up any range according to your choice for this. Okay, moving forward, I'll be having up a variable which is x, and I'll be setting that equal to random dot rand range. Okay, rand, R-A-N-D-R-A-N-G. Now rand range, what was it that actually no module name pygame showing that me this. Sunny, I guess for you you haven't installed up the pygame up till now. So do out one thing, simply write on the command which is pip install pygame. Okay, if you are using the PyCharm, so onto that you already have up a terminal. Onto that terminal I'm writing the command here, pip install pygame. It's pygame. Okay, like this. If you are having the PyCharm, then into the PyCharm you did already have up a terminal. So open that terminal and write down pip install pygame. And if you're not using, simply you could open up the command prompt, and into that command prompt you could write pip install pygame, and it will be installed for you. Okay, Sunny, install that out and then let me know that is that working or still it is giving you some sort of errors. Okay, I'll be really happy to solve out your errors. Great. Now here goes my random dot rand range. Okay, now into the bracket what I'll be having, I'll be putting up my range. So my range will belong to the dimensions of my window. What is the dimension? My dimension is 920 and 550. Right, so one dimension will be, range will be 0, 920. Right, in the similar manner I will be making up one more. Now why I am setting up the ranges? Because I want my snowfall to occur into this particular range only. What will I do if my snowfall goes out? I won't be able to see the output. Right, now that's the reason I am setting up a range that I want my output, I want this respective snowfall to occur up in this particular range only. Right, so hope I'm clear with this to you. Further, I'll be doing up the same thing. So that's my random dot, it's rand range. Further, I could put 0, 550. Okay. Okay, I could leave up a space here because when the program looks aligned, so it's look beautiful to be seen out, right? When everything is pretty much aligned in the program, so yeah, it looks nice to be seen about. So that's the reason. Random dot rand range. Okay, pretty much sorted these things. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be using up my append function. What is this append? Append means to add out any values into anything. Like if you want some values to add into a list, you want some values to add into a tuple, you want some values to add into a dictionary, anything. Okay, into that case you use the function, that's the append function. Okay, always remember. But actually what we say that tuples are immutable. Immutable means that tuples cannot be changed. So in the case of tuples, you can't use out the in the tuples you can't use this append function. Sunny, I'm using Jupyter. Sunny, in the Jupyter you could simply onto your cell you could write the command pip install pygame and hit out enter. It will install the that for you. It will install out the pygame library for you. Okay, Sunny, please do that out and let me know is that working or not clearly. Great. Fine. So I was talking about the append function. So that works onto the tuple only. Sorry, it doesn't work onto tuple because tuples are always immutable. It means tuple cannot be changed. It means you cannot add anything or delete anything from the tuple. So into that respective case, you can't use append onto tuple, but I could use onto the list because lists are always mutable. You could change up the list accordingly. You could add any element. You could delete any element, anything like that. Right, so in that particular case, I'll be using up my append function. So it will be referring to my snowfall variable, which I did made above dot. My function is append and putting up the brackets, and inside that I'm going to put up x comma y, my variables which I want to append. Okay. Great. Now come out of my for loop. Come out of the for loop. Okay. Remember, come out. Further now I am going to define up the clock. What's the need of clock now? See, I want the, okay, what will be the range or what will be the speed in which you want the snowfall to come down? That we are going to define about. Okay. So I'll be writing up the variable which is clock. That will be equal to here pygame dot time dot, and here I'll be using up the function clock. C would be capital for this clock. Okay, make sure that you remember out this particular thing. So I hope that up till now you are very much clear with all of the things which I did mention up, right? I hope that up till now you are pretty much clear with the things that I did mention up to you in regards of this particular project. So could you just confirm me out that am I clear or not? Great. I hope I'm very much clear with the things to you. Now, if I am clear, then okay, let's proceed further. And I would again say, if you haven't subscribed out my channel up till now, so please guys, go ahead, subscribe out my channel. Okay, and even refer out to your friends as well. And you could just share these live streams onto your WhatsApp groups, onto your Facebook groups, whatever the groups you are having. Okay, great. So the clock is done. Now further I'm going to make up a variable that's FRAM, let's say. And okay Aditya, okay, great. Okay, this is the variable and now I'm going to set that as false. Why false? That we will be I'll be letting you know that further in some time. Okay. Okay, Sashi, great. Fine. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be making up a variable, and that so will be the I will be setting up some backward position as well. Okay, Vasu? Great. Okay, great. I'll be using up here background underscore position because I want to set up a position for my snowfall to come. Okay, so into that particular I'm setting up a background position. Okay, so now into the bracket I'm having 0, 0 like this. Okay, I did set up. Now 0, 0 is the this particular thing. When you make up the x and the y axis, so the lowest point where either x and y meet, that origin is your 0, 0. Right. Now from that origin, I just am mentioning up my background position as that particular origin. Okay. This is what I am doing up here. Guys, one more thing, that if you are not clear at any sort of point, if you have any questions regarding at any sort of point, so yeah, please you could just write them down onto the chat box and I'll be really very happy to answer about those particular questions of yours. Okay. Yes, because you are attending of the live stream, so that's the main benefit of joining live, that your doubts, whatever you are having, those get cleared. If you're having any sort of errors, so those errors as well get cleared in a good way. That's the one very benefit of joining up the live sessions, right? So if you are joining, so please invest your that much time, and please, if you have any questions, any queries at any sort of time, please write them down in the chat box, and really I'll be really happy to answer out your questions. Okay, let me proceed on further here. So yeah, that's background position I have done. Now comes that what image I want in my background. Okay, now comes that what is the image that I want up into my background. So it will be my variable will be my background underscore image. Okay, this will be my variable, that is background underscore image. Okay, and now I'll be using up the variable pygame dot image dot load. Load is the function which will help me to load up my respective image for this particular program. Okay, I'll be putting up the brackets. Now here you can put up two things. Either you could directly put up your image name, whatever it is, or second thing is that you could put up your destination where your image is. If you ask me, I would recommend up to put up the destination of the image. Why? Because the reason is that whenever you put up the destination of the image, it's very much easier for using up the things. Okay, it's very much easier for using up that image for you and for your program as well to be understood. Okay, so she same command for install pygame in Jupyter. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. Right, absolutely, Sushi. Yes, Sunny, for using the Jupyter as well, your command is absolutely same, which is install for installing the pygame, which is pip install pygame. Okay, great. Now I'll be using up this load function. So what I will be doing is that I'll be doing up one simple thing now. Okay, go on to that respective destination where your image, you have saved up your image. Let's say this is my folder. Now this is the same folder into which my image is saved, which I want to use, and this is the same folder into which my file is saved, in which I am writing up my program. Okay, okay. So this is the thing which you have to see. See here, this pick snow was my file which I did meet right few minutes before, right, into which I'm writing up the code. So yeah, that's absolutely same. And this is my image. This is snow is actually my image. Okay, most welcome Shashi, most welcome. I'm going to copy up the properties. I'm going to open up the properties for this image, and from here I could copy up the location of this image. Okay, so Control C, and remember my file name is snow.png. Great enough. So I would get back to my Sublime right here, and I'll be putting up this. Okay, now at every place, please make up the double slashes. Okay, please make up the double slash at each and every place like this. After Sublime projects as well, make double slash and write down here is snow.png. Okay, it's png file. Great. So the one which you have to actually look about. Okay, one second guys. It would be this one. Great. Okay, so sorry for the disturbance in between. I guess something got just clicked about. Fine. So this is snow.png. Fine enough, fine. Just give me 1 second. Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I'm so sorry for the disturbance which is made up by. I'm so sorry for that. I guess because of my hand, some mishappening was done. I'm so sorry for that. Okay, now this is the thing which is completely made up here. This is the thing which is completely done up at this particular place. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna get down from here. This is snow.png is pretty much sorted, right? This is snow.png is pretty much sorted at this particular place. Let me just get down. Okay, great. I did put up the image. Okay, now one thing is left out here, that it is put up the dot. 1 second. Let me just get back to this particular place here, And now I have to put up a dot and use up one function. Now that's very important, guys, okay? It's the convert. Convert is my function which I have to use. Because, see, when you are having up your image and when you are using up that image in any sort of libraries, so you have to use up the convert function. You really have to use up the convert function. Okay, it's very much important for you when you are loading up the image for any of the program. So into that you have to use up the convert function. Okay, let me just get down here back. Now it's the main part of my complete program. Okay, now I just request you all for the next 10 minutes, please have a clear look whatever I am saying up right here. But before that, a question that, am I clear, guys, with whatever I just mentioned to you all? Am I clear with this to everyone? Could you just please mention up some confirmations in the chat box so that I as well get up an idea that yes, whatever I am delivering up to you, you are getting up those particular things. Great. Okay. Great. Fine. So hope everything is pretty much clear to you all. Now further what I'm going to do is that I'll be using up my while loop. Okay, I'll be using up my while loop, and with the help of that I'll be giving up some dimensions. Okay, Ramakrishna, why double slash? Listen to me, Ramakrishna. You put up the whenever you are putting up the single slash, so many a times it happens that in Python as well you have many functions which start with backslash u. Okay, if you have learned about the HTML and all those things, so into that you use a backslash u for underlining the things and all those particular things, right? So now into that particular case, that is the reason you have to put that as double slash, so that it doesn't get mixed up with the other functions. Because if I am going to put up one single slash, so it will treat it in such a way that you are using up any function. Okay, so that's the reason you have to use up the double slash. Ramakrishna, hope your question gets answered. If yes, please let me know, and if again you have any questions, please you can put down in the chat box. Okay, Sanskar. Okay, Sanskar, fine enough. Sunny, I just scroll that out. You could please have a look. Okay, Shashi. Okay, Vasu. Okay, great everyone. Fine enough. Let me proceed on here, and I was start using up my while loop. So here goes my while. Okay, further that while not FRAM. Okay, now I'm putting up a condition that while not false. Not false means while true. Okay, Ramakrishna, thank you so much for the confirmation. Thank you so much. Now, listen to me very much carefully for the next 10 minutes, okay? When I did put up here while not frame, okay? So, it means that while not false. And what is not false? Not false is true, right? Not false means true. See guys, these are the little things which you have to take care of when you are making up any project. Okay, these are the little things that you have to take care of when you are like watching up or making up any projects. Now many students say to me that please share up the source code for these projects to me, or share up the code files. Now if you guys having up the code file, then as well if you're not clear that what is this project about, how you'll be able to make up this project, then what's the use of the code for you? Right, simply you'll be copying up and simply will be pasting up and running that out. But that's not worth it, right? You have to be understood in a clear way that what is this function doing. Now, why did I use not frame? That's a question which is really to be answered about, right? So the reason is that I simply made it in a trickier way. Not frame means not false, and not false means true. Okay, so my condition goes while true. While true is my infinite loop. I want to use up an infinite loop into my program. That's why I did mention up while not frame means while true. Okay. I guess I am pretty much clear with this particular thing, and if not, you could please let me know in the chat box. Okay. I am watching up the comments regularly, so you could just please put them out, any questions or any queries like that there. Okay. So I'll be applying up my loop. So for event, okay, so for event as we used for I and for J, in the same way I'm using that term which is events, okay. So for event in Pygame, for event in pygame dot event dot get. Okay, so for event in pygame dot event dot get. Now I'll be putting up a bracket here because get is my function. Put up the dot, come down inside my for loop, and now I'm going to use up a function. My function will be that if event dot type is equal to pygame dot quit. It means that if I am quitting up my program, it means that if I am exiting up my program from there, okay, then what to do? Put up the colon. Okay, after this, put up the colon, get down here, and simply I could use up here that frame is equal to true. Now what it will do, whatever I just wrote, what is that actually meaning, right? What does it actually mean? I applied up my for loop, right? Till the time my event is continuing, continue up this particular for loop. That's pretty much sorted. I applied a condition that if event dot type is equal to, here see I made a spelling mistake, it will be pygame, G-A-M, one second, game, right? If my event, like whatever the event is right now running, if that is equal to quit, it means that if I clicked onto my quit button, so into that case what to do? Do this frame is equal to true means in my condition set up this frame is equal to 2, so not true is equal to false, and while false my infinite loops get finished and my program will get completely finished and I'll be coming out of my program. Okay, this is what happens up here. This is what actually happens up here into the program. Listen me out very clear and loud, okay? That if I am writing up if event dot time, I wrote up this respective line because I want to check that is my program not quitting, and if my program is quitting, then I'll be setting up my frame value as true. Not frame means not true, it means that false. While false means my infinite loop finished, my program exited. Okay, hope I am clear with this particular thing to you. I mean very much clear with this particular thing to you. Okay, you could please mention up in the chat box if I am clear with these things so that I could get up a confirmation. Great, so for event in the pygame, that's pretty much done. I'll be using up now my display function. Now I would be coming out of my if condition and out of my for loop as well. Okay, coming out of my if condition and coming out of my for loop. Now I'll be proceeding on here. So my display dot, my function is blit. Blit means to blink up something, Okay, as your eyes blink, in the same manner the blit function as well works about. As soon as your eyes blink, in that much faster way as well, this blit function works about. Okay, so now into that I'm gonna put up my variables, my background image, comma, my background position. Okay, so she please move left side. I guess this side you want me, right? Yeah, this side you want me to move, right? Great. Yeah, you could just have a look over here regarding that particularly actually. Fine. So I just did put up inside this my background image and my background positions, right? Because that's what needed, because I want to blit this up in a way that as soon as a background image comes, that completely covers up my background position which I have given, which was 920 cross 550, right? So I just wanted up that. So in that same manner, I just used up this blit function. Fine. Okay. Shishi, I guess that hope you have written up whatever was required. Okay. So okay. Yeah, I'll be getting back now to my position. Great. So yeah, this one is done. Now background position I have done. Now my second for loop will go. What will be that for loop about? Now this will be my main for loop for displaying my snowfall. Okay. So for n in snowfall. Okay, so for n in snowfall, put up the bracket, put up the colon and get down. Okay, I guess above as well I used up snowfall. Yeah, f is small only. Fine. Let's get down here. And now I'm going to put up. Okay, most welcome, Sashi. Most welcome in that case. And putting up the bracket like this. And in the bracket, I'm going to put up here as 1. N1 plus, okay, it's plus equal to 1. Now, what is the meaning of this particular thing which I am actually putting it up here like N1 plus is equal to 1. So, it actually means that N1 is equal to N1 plus 1. Let me put up a comment and write that out so that you get up an idea. So, I'm running behind. You can scroll down 21 rows. Okay, Sunny, is that so? Okay, Sunny, I'm just putting that out here from the row number 21. Okay, from the row number 21, I'm just putting that out. And you could just have a screenshot of these things. Okay, Sunny, you could take up a screenshot of whatever I did have written and you could just write that out. Okay, so yeah, I guess that, Sunny, it would help out you into the writing up of the things. Great. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get back to the writing of my code. And Sunny, if you haven't done that, so I could just show that the code to you at the last. Okay, when I finish up, it's now not left more than you could say 10 minutes of code. Okay, not more than that. So here goes. This is the actually the meaning of my program which I'm writing. So if I wrote up N1 plus is equal to 1, so that means that N1 is equal to N1 plus 1. Now this is the short form, guys. Okay, this is the short form. And if I convert this short form into the long, so this becomes the long form. Okay, so this is a clear idea after that particular thing. Let me get down, and now I'll be using up my pygame dot, and I'll be now my main line of my complete program. Pygame dot, here goes my draw function. What I want to draw, I want to draw the circles. Right, I want to draw the circle because the snowfall is of the circle shape, right? So pygame dot draw dot circle, okay, into the bracket. Where to draw my circle? I want to draw my circle onto the my display, onto my background image and onto my background position, into these respective variables, whatever the things or whatever the dimensions are mentioned. I want my circle to come over this. What is the color? My color of the circles will be white. You could change the color according to your choice. You want black, you want blue, you want yellow, pink, red, whatever you wish about. Because the snowfall is a white color, so that's the reason I will simply put it up as white here. Okay? Come on, I'm going to put up here N, and here I'm going to put up here as 4. What's that N? Let's go above and have a look. Now, N is simply a variable. Which I did mention it up here at this particular place. Okay, I'll be defining up N afterwards, and right here we are having N as well at this particular place. Okay, Sunny, I'll be displaying up the complete code at the last. Okay, I'll be displaying that up. Just give me next 5 minutes more. Okay, just 5 minutes, not more than that. Okay, let me just do that for 1 to 21. Okay, it's that the font is bigger, Sunny. Just give me 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I would display the complete code to you so that you could have a screenshot over that. Okay. So guys, I guess that up this particular point, how to make up the circles, that pretty much clear to you all, right? So please just give me a confirmation in the chat box that am I clear that how to make up the circles? Am I clear with that, everyone? Okay, thank you so much, Honey, for understanding. Thank you so much. What did you save in your C folder? Sashi, in my C folder, I am having up an image, and that is not that is simply a mountain area image. That is simply a hill station image, nothing more than that. Okay, I asked up to save up the image. Okay, I guess in the starting you were not there. So I asked everyone to download up a PNG image, and that PNG image has to be saved up onto the C folder. Sashi, you can just download any image from the internet, any image of your choice. Okay, you could take up any respective image from your Google. And guys, one more thing, this respective video will always be there onto my channel. Okay, as soon as the live stream gets over, this video will be there. So for your future reference as well, if you want to use out this video at any point, so you could please use this out. Okay, it will always be onto my channel. Okay, so do not worry that this will go anywhere, the video will go. No, it's not that case. It will be staying up onto my channel only. Great, great, great. Fine. So now what I'm going to do is that I'll be getting down and I'll be applying up some conditions. My condition goes that if n of 1 is greater than 550. Okay, if n of 1 is greater than 550. Now I'll be applying up my conditions. Okay, most welcome Sashi, most welcome. So it will be my n1 is equal to random dot rand range. Okay, it will be random dot rand range. And into the bracket, it will be minus 50, comma minus 5. That's the thing, okay? Random dot range, rand range, I am simply putting up a range. See here, spelling is again missed, R-A-N-G-A. Okay? Great. Minus 50, comma minus 5. Same goes for here for my 0. Now 1 is for my columns and 0 is for my rows. Okay? This time I'm going to put up random dot rand, okay, this down one, rand range. Now into the bracket I'll be putting up a range that is 920. Okay, get out of the for loop. Get out of the for loop. Simply now what you have to do, you have to write pygame dot display dot flip. So it will help you to display up your output. Okay, this is done. And now I'll be writing up here clock dot tick. It means that what is the speed which you want of the snow to fall up onto your image. Okay, I want this much time, that is 60 seconds. So that's so I am doing up here. Okay, getting down, coming out of all the loops and everything. At last I'm going to write up here pygame dot quit and put up the bracket like this, and that's all from my program. Right, that's complete of my program. Now I'll be stopping up here for 1 minute. Each and every one of you, please you could just copy up this last part which we are having up here. Just copy that out very quickly and then let me know. I'll be showing up the final output to you. Okay, so that's the idea. Yes, please you could all have up a look and let me just, right here I would be putting it up in this way. Great. So I guess whatever the last things you did are having, you did wrote up everything. The program is pretty much sorted. Now what I'm going to do is that I'll be running up this out and let's see the final output of the program. Again, now you have to go on to that respective destination where your file is saved. For me, my Python file is here into which I'm writing the code. I would do shift plus right click. For every IDE, the idea is different. For me, I'll be using up the PowerShell window. You can, if you're using Jupyter, then that's pretty much sorted. If you're using PyCharm, then you could as well use out, okay? So, but if you're using up this IDE, so you could simply write Python, then you have to write up your file name. So, for me, my file name was Snowpig, I guess, right? Okay, let me check about that particular thing. So, it was, okay, it was picsnow.py. Okay, let me just get back to my Sublime here, this one. So, it's, okay, 1 second, let me close out this particular one here. Yeah, it's Python, Python space, then here we are having picsnow.py and then hit out enter. If you will be having any errors, it will show you out that particular error. But for me, I have to do one thing. I have to go on to my Sublime and do here Control plus S. Okay, yeah, this was one thing which I did forget to mention. Always save out your program. Do Control plus S always. Okay, whenever you're writing up the program, do Ctrl plus S. Okay, I did do that out. And now I'll be first of all minimizing the size of this like this. Great. Okay, I'll minimize the size as well a little bit in this manner. That's pretty much done, right? I would again write up this particular program, Python picsnow.py. And see, here's my output. The background image which I was using, here it is. Onto that, you can see up your snowfall which is coming up here. It's looking beautiful. It's wonderful, right? So yeah, please let me know that how many of you, how many of you the program is running and how many of you are able to see this output. Okay, Sunny. Okay, Sunny. Most welcome. Most welcome in that case. Great. Wonderful. Yeah. So for you, how many of you the program is done? Let me know. How many of you are actually able to see your outputs in a clear way? And now guys, it's not all over for now. It's not over. I have some more things to mention up. Now here, let's say this is one of the image which you have taken. Now let's say if you are having any other image as well, so how you could put that out. So I would go on to my Sublime here, and I am having one different image of me as well, so I could just use that out. Okay, it's pick 2. So I would now just get back to my Sublime. I would change up one of the images, okay? So instead of this particular image of mine, I would be putting up here, I'll be putting up pic2.png, okay? And now I'll be doing Control plus S. Okay, thank you so much, Shashi, thank you so much. I'll be doing up here Control S, okay? Now get back to your Sublime, this one Windows partial, and hit out Enter. So see, this was my image. It's a very starting image when I started my channel. So it's that type of image. But here you can have a look that you could put any image according to your choice, and just simply you could use up this particular program. Vasu, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sadhna, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Now you could put up any image of your choice. Now you put up your images, and simply you could put up these particular things. You could simply, very good evening, Rishabh. So you could simply put up these particular things. Now, I did give up a caption. Remember, I did give up a caption onto the top. That is snowfall. See, here onto the very top it's coming. Thank you so much, Sunny. Okay, so guys, everyone, let me know in the chat box that how many of you did made up this particular project. How many of you did made up this particular project? In the chat box, everyone. So this one I would make that as snow as my previous one, because that was my real project. This I was actually only showing that. Thank you so much, Asifa. Thank you so much. Yeah, this was actually my real project. That I was telling you that how you could put up the things. So guys, if you are not aware, I would let you know one more thing. But before that, I want to tell you one very interesting thing, that I have one of my more YouTube channels, that's UPSC with SHAMBHAVI. Here it is. So guys, I know that everyone has a dream of going on to the civil services and preparing for that and going on to that. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Here's my UPSC with SHAMBHAVI channel. Go ahead, subscribe this channel as well if you want to prepare for this UPSC. Start learning with me as well. Into this, I post the videos onto a daily basis. Right now, we are covering up the class 6. Then we'll moving to 7, 8, then 9. Further, we have many lot of things to cover. And into this, respectively, I come up with different interviews of some people as well who have already cracked up some government jobs. So yeah, you could have up some motivation. You could get up some ideas for learning about those as well. Okay, subscribe to this channel and even refer out to your friends as well for this particular channel if you want to prepare for UPSC. Now coming back to my topic which I was going ahead with. So yeah, that was my project, guys. Hope you all have written up these projects with me. So I did already put up my LinkedIn IDs and my link for my channels onto the very starting page. I would again display that out. So if you want to connect with me, you could connect with me on LinkedIn. You could follow me onto my channels, UPSC with SHAMBHAVI and Fun with Data Science. You could subscribe these channels. You could refer your friends. And now we're meeting up every Sunday in this live session only, and the time will be 5 p.m. So onto the daily basis, on Monday to Friday, we have different videos coming up. On Saturday, we have roadmaps for data science, AI, machine learning, deep learning, web development, whatever you wish about. Everything is covered up. So Saturdays are for the roadmaps. Sundays we are gonna have the Python projects, some different more projects with the live sessions. Okay, so stay tuned with my channel, and in my channel I'm covering up complete data science. Okay, so if you're a person who want to go with the data science, so yeah, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. In this particular case, we're covering statistics. We have covered all the libraries. We are covering PyTest like Seaborn, Matplotlib, NumPy, Pandas, Plotly. Everything is pretty much clear. Python for basic up to the advanced level is covered up. Selenium we are having, it is covered up. SQL is as well covered up. Statistics is right now going, and from next week I'm coming out with the probability as well. Okay, so go ahead, subscribe my channel and refer it to your friends as well. So hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. And thank you so much guys for coming up in today's live stream. We'll see you all in the next live stream on next Sunday at same time 5 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me today in this particular session. And now I'll be displaying up my handles, so you could simply go ahead and check me out and follow me out on the different handles. Thank you. I would say once again, thank you so much for joining up here and coming up here.